just going to go through the Sunday analysis for this week, being the second weekend in February. Basically, there's only one entry this week that I can see at the moment, but I do want to just recap on a few other trades we've talked about in the previous month and weeks. All right, so we'll get into it. So basically, we've got pound USD on a daily chart. So essentially what we're looking at, we talked about up here being a decent level of resistance, and this was probably 2 weeks ago. We talked about it again last week. I did think we're probably going to get some price action on the daily or weekly, but it did roll over a bit early, which is fine, and it's heading down in this direction, which is exactly what we anticipated. All right, so what I think, if we think back to what we talked about, we've got a left shoulder, so we've got a double left, we've got a head, anticipating a double right shoulder. All right, and if I just zoom out a little bit, I might get a weekly actually be clearer to see. Excuse me. Zoom back in. Got this big rounding bottom pattern on the weekly chart. So a double right shoulder here, we'll put in the base, and then we'll be getting long up to this level, which is 1650 pips if we remember. All right, so unless you can find a short entry on a daily or H4 in this direction, which I probably won't, I like to trade off support and resistance. There's not much we can do here until we get down to this level, which if we have a quick look, it's also from fractal high to fractal low, it's a 61.8% Fibonacci retracement, which just gives us that extra bit of confirmation. All right, just next one, pound Oz. Now, this one here, we had this level of resistance. So we'll just zoom out. I'll take you back a step. Remember this big uptrend channel? We're still well inside that, and there's a smaller downtrend channel inside that, which price is respecting. I anticipate price will come down here, but not without a quick retest of this downtrend. So we'll just zoom in. Now remember we talked about at the end of last week, price had come right off and we missed an entry up here on daily, but we did anticipate price to stop or turn around and come back up and give us a second chance entry on these levels, which it looks like it's doing. Price opened as a gap down and it just pushed bullish all week. So this week could be another push up, could be a doji. I am looking for a pin bar in the next 2 or 3 weeks. If and when we get that pin bar, we'll be trading short back down into this uptrend support, which is support. There'll be horizontal support off this level through there too, and we'll be getting long. So again, no entry this week, but just watching that one setting up for the weeks coming. Now, pound New Zealand is something where there's a possible entry, I believe. So we've got pound New Zealand on a weekly chart, significant support resistance line through here. So we've got resistance, break, support, 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 break, resistance, resistance, break. And we've got support. So price on the daily, now we just go back quickly down to daily. This was an entry last week, which I took a 50% retracement. It did stop me out, only then to go up and make that weekly close in the bullish direction, which we anticipated. We just missed our entry. We were a bit aggressive on the entry. Not disappointed. Would have been more disappointed if I had taken it, because price did essentially do what we wanted at the end of the day. So now we have got a weekly close on this significant support resistance line. Price come, tested, and closed very bullish on the way back up through it. So now I'm anticipating price to come down and test about the 50% retracement of this weekly close. And from these levels here, we'll be getting long back to the original heads and shoulders target, which if we remember correctly, excuse me, I'll just grab that crosshair. So we're looking at 800 pips. So from about this level, we'll be getting 800 pips long. And on pound New Zealand, we trade a 60 pip stop loss. Just have a quick look. So we got 800 divided by 60 is a 13% trade. So yes, on a daily or a H4, when price comes to test this level, I will be going long again from this level. So if you guys get on that one, that could be a good opportunity. Now the last one I just want to look for the week, so USD CAD. We've been in this trade now for I think 3 weeks. Got an entry up here, so 1, 2, 3 weeks. Now if you remember, last Sunday we talked about price closing here. I did expect price to probably have a bit of a retracement. It had a couple of bearish weeks. I did not anticipate such a bullish week. That did hurt a bit, I won't lie to you. I hate it when price turns around that hard. But if we do have a look, we've got uptrend and it's a break and a retest. It's also 78.6. I am going to keep this position. I do think it'll still head down to these original levels. Now just to give you a bit of an example, this is where trading, this is where it separates good traders and bad traders, I guess, because we got in here, we had a 34 pip stop loss originally, and price come all the way down here, got 280 pips. Just have a quick look. So we had 280 divided by 34, so 8.25% we were in profit on that trade, 8.2, which is great. Like, not many traders can get those sorts of levels. And then it came all the way back and got within, I think it was 11 pips of stopping us out. So 8% in profit to within 11 pips of stopping us out on a 34 pip stop loss, which hurts. Don't get me wrong. In the middle of last week, I was sitting there just wondering, you know, if I should stay in it, should I get out? But I stuck to my guns. And again, when you do your original analysis, that's when you'll have the clearest mind. So don't try and overanalyze once you're in an open trade, because emotion will take over and you'll lose the clarity on why you originally got in. So I just held the position. It has come down. It did respond to the 78.6. I anticipated this morning on open a bit of a retracement into here. I'm expecting price to roll over. It is going to now take another 2 or 3 or 4 weeks to get to where I wanted to. I would have liked to have closed out of this trade already, but the reality is we're in it. We're not stopped out, and it doesn't matter. If you think about what we need out of this trade now, all it's got to do is touch our take profit before I touch our stop loss. Now, it's a risk-free trade. I've rolled my stop loss through my entry, so even if it stops me out, it's going to stop me out without, it's a little bit of profit, maybe $1,000 or something in it, but not nearly enough to sort of bank money for the week. But again, all we've got to do now is get to our take profit before we get to our stop loss. The trade will just do what it wants. We have no control anymore. We just have to sit back, wait, see where it ends up. And that's all there is to it. It is hard, and it takes years of practice to overcome the emotion, to stop, you know, you should not get out of that trade. When I saw this big push up, I would have liked to have got out. When I saw this second big push up, I really wanted to get out, but you can't, because when you do, they will inevitably roll over and go to your take profits, and that is the worst scenario. That's worse than getting stopped out. When you close a trade early and then it continues on to what your original analysis was, you'll find that in time if you close trades early. Alright guys, that's all I got. So just to recap, Pound US weekly was on track for our original analysis. No entries there. Pound Oz on track for the original entry. No actual trades there this week. Pound New Zealand, a good opportunity for long if it retraces on the daily and H4 into that 50% retracement of that weekly bullish close. And USD CAD, just holding on. If you guys aren't in the USD CAD, there is some opportunities to get short this week into that breakout retest of the bigger time frame. Alright, as always, wish you guys all the best. Have a good week trading. Hope it plays out a bit better this week than it did the last week. And I will talk to you again next Sunday. Alright guys, cheers, bye.